After surprising claims surfaced, TAI's revelation put the entire cast and fans into a frenzy, with murmurs erupting into loud speculation. TAI has reportedly disclosed that Evelyn has been meeting with Chantel in secret late at night, and the whole affair has left everyone wondering what the hell is going on. These alleged tense and secret meetings are now at the core of one of the most shocking scandals the franchise has ever witnessed. According to sources, TAI didn't hold back when she made her disclosure, describing Evelyn skulking about and Chantel seeing her in private settings away from prying eyes and cameras. It's still unclear what these meetings are allegedly about. Were they forming friendships, concealing more profound secrets, or was there something far more intimate driving these covert encounters? What we do know is that every talk is dominated by questions of allegiance, treachery, and motives, and emotions are running high. Social media has been inundated with vehement sentiments and divergent viewpoints from fans who have reacted quickly. While some argue that Evelyn is causing trouble once more to keep herself in the spotlight, others think Chantel may be concealing her own agenda. In any case, the cast is left in complete shock, and tensions are about to blow up in unexpected ways. This goes beyond simply remaining, which has the potential to permanently destroy ties, friendships, and trust. TAI clears her throat, prepared to reveal the secret that everyone has been whispering about, but no one has the courage to speak aloud. As the studio lights shine, the cameras roll, and a tight quiet descends upon the room. Her voice is calm, but tinged with something deeper, a weight of betrayal and urgency. She starts by informing the actors that she has proof, not just hearsay, that Evelyn has been seeing Chantel in secret locations, out of sight of the cast and the general public. The room abruptly changes, with all eyes focusing on Evelyn and Chantel, who are both sitting erect and fidgeting with their hands, unable to conceal their sudden uneasiness. The first person to speak up is Brandy, who asks incredulously what these meets were about and why they were kept a secret. TAI doesn't recoil. She leans closer as she recounts how she had investigated a tip from a cast member who claimed to have seen Evelyn and Chantel together at a peaceful rooftop lounge, whispering in corners and departing separately to allay suspicions. Even people in the room who wish to doubt her start to relive memories in their minds because of the vivid image she creates. Evelyn exhales sharply as she realizes that little things suddenly make more sense. Her face tightens as she accuses TAI of fabricating lies to build tension. TAI isn't done, though. Reminding everyone that she's been in this circle long enough to see when something doesn't match up, she raises her voice. She remembers times on stage when Evelyn would abruptly disappear after Chantel would abruptly disappear, claiming to answer a call. The coincidences start to pile up, and the atmosphere in the room becomes suspicious a few moments later, with her own justification. Chantel makes an effort to step in. She insisted that she and Evelyn were merely talking about personal issues, unrelated to the group, in a guarded yet wobbly tone. However, she comes out as less believable the more she attempts to explain. Fans watching this unfold sense her hesitancy as she continues. "We just needed space to talk without the noise." Her voice cracks. Her remarks are betrayed by the small pause that occurs. Usually silent during the women's disputes, Doug suddenly raises the issue that no one else dared to ask. Why did these discussions need to take place in hidden places? And if there was nothing strange going on, why couldn't they be held in public? His directness pierces the room, and everyone's gaze returns to Chantal and Evelyn. The subsequent quiet seems to be an admission of guilt. The word spreads like wildfire off the set. Online fans start analyzing every previous episode, searching for scenes in which Evelyn and Chantel share too many prolonged looks. Whispers captured by microphones or seemingly well-timed escapes. Theories abound on Twitter, with some asserting that the two ladies were planning to destroy specific ties, and others arguing that something far more personal might be happening between them. Within hours, fan-created edits showcasing montages of every moment that might hint at a secret connection made the hashtags trend. When TAI takes out her phone and scrolls through pictures that she says were sent to her anonymously, the tension increases. The pictures, which are a little blurry but still identifiable, seem to show Evelyn and Chantel sitting next to each other at a fancy hotel bar. They leaned close, their faces partially obscured by wine glasses, as if their talk was too private to be overheard. Even those who had sided with Evelyn couldn't hide their surprise as gasps reverberate throughout the set. Furious, Brandy smashes her hand down on the table and demands to know how long this has been going on and if it's related to the tension that has been growing among the group. Her remarks are caustic and she gestures at Chantel, while concealing, "Something so significant, you have been grinning in our faces. Now how do you think we'll trust you?" Chantel makes an effort to defend herself, but the overlapping inquiries, charges, and incredulity that reverberate from every direction drown out her words. The emotional upheaval becomes unbearable. With her eyes blurry from unshed tears, Chantel abruptly gets up from her chair. She claims in a shaky voice that she was simply caught up in a situation that got out of hand and that she never intended to damage anyone. Before Chantel can continue, however, Evelyn interrupts in a stern tone, urging her to stop because it's none of anybody else's concern. Her sudden defense simply serves to stoke the flames by persuading everyone that there is more to the story than either of them is prepared to acknowledge. Producers, meanwhile, discuss the possible repercussions in private. In addition to being devoted, the audience is demanding answers, starting polls, and holding live debates in which supporters argue about whether Chantel is a victim, caught up in Evelyn's deceptive tactics, or if the two are conspirators concealing a secret that might irreparably shatter the cast. Tensions increase as the show goes on. After everything they've been through together as friends, Jackie can't help but lean forward and tell Chantel bluntly that she deserves honesty. "Are the rumors about deeper motives true?" she says, almost begging. Evelyn gives Chantel a gaze so sharp that she stops talking, even though she hesitates and her lips part as if the words are already there. That wordless communication, that instant, is captured in the room. The implication is that Evelyn is ensuring that Claire Chantel's secret remains hidden. The women start to turn against one another because the unresolved tension becomes intolerable. With each minute that goes by, accusations fly, voices mix, and the distinction between manipulation and truth becomes increasingly hazy. Nevertheless, despite the mayhem, it is indisputable that TAI has unlocked a door that cannot be shut. Suspicions have turned into confrontations, whispers have turned into yells, and the group's brittle trust will never be the same. The room's air is so dense that it seems like even the cameras are having trouble capturing it. Sitting erect with her arms folded, the tension without a tie or shaking never wavers. "I'm not here to make a scene," she states coolly. Secrets like these always blow up at the wrong time, which is why she is here to keep the group's integrity intact. Every member of the cast moves uneasily as they decide whether or not to believe TAI. It is impossible to overlook the data she presented. Reminding Chantel that she once referred to Evelyn as manipulating, Brandy leans forward and speaks in a harsh, hateful tone. A woman who thrived on conflict and drama. Her voice rising, she asks, "So why?" Chantel swallows hard, avoiding eye contact, her silence doing more harm than any denial could. "Would you, of all people, sneak around with her? You swore she was toxic, and now here we are." Evelyn finally loses it, obviously getting frustrated. "This obsession with my life has gone too far!" she yells, slamming her hand against the table. Her reaction only serves to underline how shaken she is. Despite her insistence that nothing inappropriate has transpired, and that her chats with Chantel were completely private and unrelated to the rest of the group. At the conclusion, her voice cracks, which those watching from home hear right away. She stares at Chantel as though she's looking for support. Not one of the others lets it go. Jackie, whose relationship with Chantel is already strained, notes how odd it is for Chantel to put her reputation at danger by associating with Evelyn of all people. "You can't play both sides and expect respect from either," she says, accusing Chantel of breaking the loyalty she's always preached. The hurt of her words is intense. When Chantel does look up, her eyes sparkle with a mix of defensiveness and shame. While silently watching, Doug chooses to press harder. In order to eliminate any possibility of conjecture, he asks TAI if she has additional evidence. TAI nods without hesitation. She discloses that screenshots of text messages in which Evelyn and Chantel reportedly planned their meetings were also sent by the unidentified individual who handed her pictures, meticulously scheduling moments when the other actors would be occupied. With a firm voice, She starts reading passages out loud. Tonight, the same location. Nobody will notice, and then someone else will. Until it's appropriate, we'll keep silent. The weight of though. The show, social media, explodes again. Hashtags linking Chantel and Evelyn together climb the trending charts. Fans create split-screen images of them overlaying suspicious moments from previous seasons, with captions like "they've been plotting," "all along," and "loyalty or lies." Theories multiply, some suggesting they're covering up a bigger betrayal involving Jennifer's personal life. Others claiming they're simply forming a dangerous alliance to dominate the group dynamic. Amidst the chaos, Tai quietly observes Chantel and Evelyn, noting the way they exchange silent looks as though words are unnecessary between them. It's a detail that doesn't escape anyone's attention. Jackie points it out aloud, accusing them of communicating without speaking, which only fuels the idea that there's an unspoken pact at play. Chantel finally cracks under the weight of the pressure. She blurts out that she and Evelyn met in secret because they didn't trust anyone else with what they were discussing. But before she can explain further, Evelyn cuts her off sharply, telling her to stop talking. The harshness in Evelyn's tone stuns everyone, even Chantel, who recoils as though slapped. That single moment leaves the room colder than ever, raising new questions about what exactly Evelyn is trying so desperately to control. The cast begins splitting down the middle. Brandy and Jackie push harder for the truth, convinced that Chantel and Evelyn are hiding something that could affect everyone. Others, like Doug, try to mediate, urging calm, but the mounting accusations make it impossible to find balance. Emotions run high, tears threaten to spill, and the once cohesive group starts to fracture under the strain of unanswered questions. Then Tai delivers the blow no one saw coming. She reveals that according to the source, one of the meets wasn't just a private talk. The same hotel where the photos were taken allegedly logged a room under an alias, paid in cash, but connected to Evelyn's account through incidental charges. The implication is explosive, and the room erupts. Chantal's face drains of color. Evelyn stares daggers at Tai, and the rest of the cast is left speechless, caught between disbelief and suspicion. Chantel clutches her chest, shaking her head, whispering under her breath that it isn't what they think. Evelyn, usually quick with comebacks, sits frozen for a moment before she lashes out, accusing Tai of manufacturing evidence. Anyone could make those receipts look like they're mine, she snaps, but her voice lacks the conviction she's known for. Brandy calls her bluff instantly, demanding to know why she looks so panicked if she's truly innocent. The more Evelyn denies, the louder everyone else gets. Chantel desperately tries to speak, her words tripping over each other, but no one listens long enough to hear her explanation. Instead, accusations fly in every direction. Alliances shift before the cameras, and the energy in the room becomes nearly unbearable. Outside, online fan pages begin dissecting the receipts Tai showed, slowing down screenshots from the episode. To match them with past locations Evelyn has been spotted at, amateur detectives claim the handwriting on the alias card matches Evelyn's signature from autographs. Others argue it's all too convenient that someone is framing her. The audience is just as divided as the cast itself. Meanwhile, Chantel sits silently, eyes brimming with tears. She finally whispers that there's more to the story than anyone realizes. But Evelyn glares at her so fiercely that she swallows the rest of her confession. That glare doesn't go unnoticed. Jackie leans forward, pointing it out, saying, "Why? Are you so afraid of her, Chantel? What does she have over you?" The question hangs in the air like a storm cloud, and Chantel's silence confirms suspicions more than words ever could. For the first time in a long while, Evelyn looks cornered. Her shoulders slump, her breathing uneven, as though the weight of holding the secret is crushing her. Chantel covers her face with her hands, muttering something no one can catch, and the room leans in, desperate for answers. The unresolved tension becomes unbearable, and the atmosphere turns into a battlefield of suspicion, betrayal, and broken trust. The room feels suffocating as silence stretches longer than anyone can bear. Chantel keeps her face hidden behind her hands, refusing to look up, while Evelyn's glare slices through her like a knife. The rest of the cast exchange uneasy glances, realizing something huge is being left unsaid. Jackie's question still hangs heavy in the air. What does Evelyn have over Chantel? Brandy leans back in her chair, shaking her head slowly, almost in disbelief. You know what this looks like? Okay, she says, her voice cutting like glass. It looks like blackmail. K. It looks like Chantel is trapped in something she doesn't want to be in. And Evelyn's pulling the strings. Her words land like a bomb, igniting murmurs from everyone present. Chantel's shoulders tremble, but she doesn't deny it. Instead, she whispers so faintly that the microphones barely catch it. It's complicated. The phrase does nothing to calm the room. It only fuels the chaos further. TAI narrows her eyes, pressing her for answers. Complicated doesn't cut it, she insists. We need to know why you've been sneaking around because right now it looks like betrayal. Suddenly, Evelyn slams her hand against the table again. Louder this time. Enough! She yells, her voice trembling between anger and desperation. You all think you're so perfect, but every single one of you has secrets. Don't come at me like I'm the only one guilty of something. She turns sharply toward Chantel, snapping, Don't you dare say another word. The sharpness of Evelyn's warning shocks even the producers who step forward as though ready to intervene. The cast freezes, torn between curiosity and fear. Chantel looks utterly broken, her lips trembling as if she wants to scream the truth, but can single quotes tell Jackie. Never one to stay silent in moments like this, jumps up from her seat. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, she says, pacing the room. If there was nothing shady going on, why would Evelyn be silencing Chantel like this? You're exposed, Evelyn, and the harder you fight, the guiltier you look. The tension snaps like a whip when Chantel suddenly blurts out, She promised me she'd protect me. Her words are raw, full of pain, and the room goes silent all over again. Brandy gasps audibly while TAI's jaw drops. Protect you from what? TAI asks. Her tone softer now, almost coaxing. Chantel's eyes dart nervously around the room, then to the cameras before she shakes her head violently. Unable to speak further, fans watching later rewind that exact moment over and over, analyzing Chantel's trembling voice, her body language, and the way Evelyn froze the second the word protect left her mouth. Theories explode online. Some claim Chantel is hiding a scandal that could ruin her image. Others believe Evelyn is using personal information to control her. Brandy, unwilling to let it go, presses harder. Are you covering up for Evelyn or is she covering up for you? She demands. Stahl's silence speaks louder than words, and Evelyn snaps back defensively, accusing Brandy of twisting everything for clout. But the damage is done. The seed of doubt is planted, and everyone in the room now looks at Evelyn with suspicion instead of trust. Doug, trying to play peacemaker, asks Chantel directly if she feels safe. The question startles everyone, and Chantel's delayed answer, I don't know, sends chills through the room. Evelyn immediately lashes out, saying, This has gone too far, that this is no longer about group drama, but personal attacks. She storms toward the door, threatening to leave the set altogether. Producers scramble, blocking her exit, reminding her of her contract. Evelyn reluctantly returns to her seat, but her composure is shattered. Her hands shake as she grips her phone, scrolling furiously as if searching for something to defend herself with. The cameras zoom in, catching every flicker of panic across her face. At that moment, TAI strikes again, pulls out her phone, and reveals one more piece of evidence she's been holding. A short video clip allegedly taken at the same hotel. Though the footage is grainy, two figures resembling Evelyn and Chantel can be seen entering a private lounge, whispering closely before disappearing behind a door together. The clip is just a few seconds long, but it's enough to ignite chaos all over again. Brandy jumps to her feet, throwing her hands in the air. That's it. You can't deny this anymore. You were sneaking around, and we all deserve to know why. Chantel bursts into tears, shaking uncontrollably while Evelyn clenches her jaw, refusing to answer. The entire cast begins talking over each other, voices overlapping in a storm of accusations and disbelief. Outside the show, fan reactions go wild. The clip is replayed millions of times with viewers debating whether it's authentic or staged. Hashtags like Hell and Evelyn and Sneaky Sisters dominate timelines. Some fans defend Chantel, saying she looks pressured, while others accuse her of betraying the group for personal gain. Evelyn, once celebrated for her boldness, faces a tidal wave of criticism and suspicion. Back on set, Jackie leans closer to Chantel, lowering her voice, but making sure the cameras still catch every word. "Listen," she says, almost motherly. "If she's got something over you, this is your chance to take your power back. Don't let her silence you anymore." Chantel sniffles, torn between fear and desperation. Evelyn glares daggers at Jackie, spitting back. "Stay out of this. You don't know what you're talking about." But Jackie doesn't back down. She reminds everyone that secrets always find their way out. And the longer Chantel keeps hers, the harder it'll hit when it explodes. Chantel covers her face again, whispering through tears. "You don't understand. If I say it, everything changes." That single sentence electrifies the atmosphere. Everyone leans in, breath held, waiting for her to continue. Even Evelyn, for the first time, looks genuinely fearful instead of defensive. But Chantel breaks down, sobbing too hard to speak, leaving the room suspended in unbearable anticipation. The producers call for a short break, hoping to calm things down. But instead, the pause only intensifies speculation. Brandy paces outside, venting to TAI about how fed up she is with lies. Jackie sits with her arms crossed, muttering that she won't stop until Chantel spills everything. Meanwhile, cameras catch Evelyn pulling Chantel aside, whispering urgently, her tone sharp and threatening. Though the microphones can't catch every word, fans later read clips and claim Evelyn said, "Don't ruin me, Chantel, don't you dare." The whispers ignite even more speculation online. Fan forums explode with theories that Evelyn has leverage over Chantel, financial secrets, relationship scandals, or even past betrayals hidden from the cameras. No one knows the truth yet, but one thing becomes clear. The alliance between Evelyn and Chantel is far darker than anyone imagined. When filming resumes, tensions remain sky high. Brandy immediately demands answers again, while TAI warns that if Chantel doesn't speak, someone else eventually will. The weight of the moment hangs so heavy that every word feels like a potential bombshell waiting to drop. Chantel opens her mouth to speak, hesitates, then closes it again, her silence louder than any confession. Jackie slams her hand on the table, fed up. "Enough games. Chantel, either you tell us what's going on or we'll find out ourselves." But one way or another, the truth is coming out. The camera zooms in on Chantel's tear-streaked face as she looks between Evelyn, Jackie, and TAI, trapped in the middle of a war she can't escape. And just when it seems like she might finally break her silence, Evelyn leans in close and whispers something into her ear. And Tal's expression changes instantly. Her face goes pale, her lips pressed tightly shut, and she shakes her head with finality. Whatever Evelyn said was enough to stop her cold, leaving everyone else stunned and furious at the unrelenting secrecy that the room is so still. You can hear every shaky breath Chantel takes. Her silence is deafening, and the more she refuses to speak, the more the tension grows unbearable. Evelyn sits back slowly, her lips curled into a faint smirk, as though she knows she's won, at least for now. But Jackie isn't letting it slide. "Oh no, sweetheart," Jackie says firmly, her voice carrying through the room. "You might think you've shut Chantel down, but I promise you, the truth always has a way of spilling out." Brandy leans forward, her eyes locked on Chantel. "You're not protecting yourself. You're protecting her," she accuses. And the question is why? Chantel's lip quivers, but she keeps her head down. TAI slams her hand on the table, unable to hold her frustration in any longer. "I've shown receipts. I've shown clips. I've shown the meets. What else do we need before somebody actually admits what's going on?" The cameras catch every second of the chaos, zooming in on Chantel's tear-stained face, on Evelyn's tightened jaw, and on Jackie pacing the floor like a detective closing in on her prime suspect. Producers whisper nervously in the background, debating whether to step in or let the drama run wild. And then suddenly, Chantel speaks, her voice shaking but louder than before. "You don't understand," she cries out. She's the only one who knows what really happened that night. Her confession hits the room like thunder. Everyone freezes. Brandy tilts her head, stunned. TAI leans closer, her curiosity burning. What night, Chantel? What are you talking about? Evelyn's entire body stiffens, her eyes widening for the briefest moment before she masks it with anger. Don't, she warns Chantel, her tone sharp enough to slice the air. Don't you dare go there. Jackie jumps at the opening. So, there was a night, she declares triumphantly. A night we all don't know about. Oh, baby, you just messed up. The cast erupts with overlapping voices demanding answers, throwing accusations, and pushing Chantel to finally spill everything. CHANTEL covers her. Face again, sobbing uncontrollably. I can't, she mutters. If I tell you everything, we'll explode. Families will fall apart. I'll lose everything. Brandy slams her palm down on the table. Girl, look around you. It's already exploding. Evelyn has been out here lying to all of us, dragging you down with her, and you're the one taking the hits. How long are you going to let her control your life? Evelyn, desperate now, rises from her chair and yells over everyone. You don't know what you're talking about. Chantel owes me her silence, and she knows why. She speaks. It won't just be me. Destroy Dal be all of you. Her voice shakes, betraying fear behind her bravado. The room gasps collectively at the threat. Jackie scoffs loudly. See, that's the problem with you, Evelyn. You think you're the puppet master? But tonight those strings are snapping. She turns to Chantel and softens her voice. Baby, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Say it. Say what? Really happened, the air is heavy, but the biggest question remains unanswered. Who was Evelyn really sneaking around with? And what secrets does she still hold over Chantel? The truth lingers like a storm cloud, promising even more chaos when it finally breaks. The cameras fade on Chantel wiping her tears. Evelyn staring coldly at the floor and the rest of the cast, whispering about what might come next. Fans are left buzzing, divided, and desperate for answers that no one seems ready to give. As the dust settles on this explosive night, one thing is clear: nothing will ever be the same again. TAI's bold move to expose Evelyn's secret meets with Chantel has not only divided the cast, but also left fans scrambling for answers. Chantel's emotional breakdown, her confession about covering for Evelyn, and the shocking revelation that there was more to these meetings than anyone imagined has shaken. The entire dynamic to its core, the question on everyone's lips is simple, yet powerful. Who was Evelyn really sneaking around with? And why did she need Chantel to shield her? More importantly, what dangerous secrets does Evelyn hold over Chantel that keep her so terrified to speak fully? The cast may have confronted her, but the bigger story is far from over. Social media has already erupted with speculation, trending, hashtags, and fan theories that point in every direction. Some believe Evelyn has been protecting a relationship that could shatter more than just her reputation. Okay. While others think Chantel may be hiding her own involvement in something much darker. Whatever the case, one thing is certain. This drama has reached a level nobody saw coming. And now we turn it over to you. What do you think is really going on between Evelyn and Chantel? Do you believe Chantel was simply a pawn, or is TAI